Hey guys, I'm coming to you now from the village of Tierra Blanca. This is a site of one of the pastors that we support, Pastor Ruben. We supported him for a couple years now, and I want to tell you a little bit about what's happening. But before I do that, we're here with Pastor Pattison of Victory Baptist Church in Chino, California. The church supports my family, supports the Beal family that's down in Chile right now, and supports three pastors. And so I was excited to have the opportunity to travel down with him. We've been here a couple days doing some teaching there in Navajo with missionary Mike Adore and his ministry. God's using him in a great way, and he's had opportunity to do some preaching. And so just take a few minutes, talk about kind of what you've seen, maybe what you were expecting, and then what you're actually experiencing, and maybe what God's just doing in your heart a little bit this week.
It's been awesome. Living in Chino, I'm about 2 hours from the Mexican border, and I've never been out of the country before. So when we crossed the border over here in Arizona, I was like, wow, it's a little bit of a different world. We got down here, and I love it. And the church, we love the church that we've been at the past couple of days. And one of the things that's been really neat for me is coming out and even like being out here and seeing this and seeing these mission churches out of the church and getting to talk to the guy yesterday in the couple of churches. It's neat to see the gospel spreading and going into different places. And it's different to see too how people live differently than we do. Mm-hmm. And you see what we take for granted sometimes a lot, what would take for granted a lot. You see, we were at that church yesterday, and just to think that they might have a bathroom, which we wouldn't even consider a big deal to us, and nothing compared to what we have. And yet it was such a big deal to that little town and area. And so it's just neat. And one of the things that I really love about it is this gives you a different perspective. The Bible kind of talks about how your eye affects your heart. And when you get to see it firsthand, it's just a neat thing.
It's awesome. Yeah, so he's had the opportunity to teach 2 days now at the Bible College. He preached Wednesday night there at the church, and then tonight you're going to be preaching, traveling out to Alamos, doing some preaching. And so behind me here is, I mentioned, Pastor Ruben's church building going up. For a couple years, he's been meeting actually out of an open baseball field. When I first met him, 3 years ago, I think it was, he was engaged to get married. We actually went soul winning together, and then now he's married and been meeting as a church under a tree in the baseball field. Last summer, we were able to come here with a group from Briarwood Baptist Church in Michigan, came and held a one-day VBS out here and had a bunch of activities and saw just a lot of neat things and the influence he's already having in this community. And so as you can see, they have some construction going on. It's interesting, and I love when obviously the church is the people, but I love to see the result of that, things coming together like this. And so they have enough money right now to build the pillars, as you can see here, and just enough left over to put about half of the roof on. And I don't do this a lot, to be honest with you. Our desire is to help pastors their salary, if you will, so they can go soul winning and evangelize and discipleship and such like that. But I know it'd be a great blessing for the church if we can come alongside and maybe on top of what we're already doing, on top of the monthly support, provide a one-time love offering to help them finish the top of their roof. And so here's what I'm going to ask you to do. If the Lord lays on your heart at all to be an extra blessing, I'd love to raise an additional $1,000 to be able to, and what that will do is be able to fully cover the top of their church and have a little bit left over to build some pews. And so, the immediate need is get this up, and the thought is, well, we get half of the church covered, and that's better than staying in the baseball field, which it is. But man, I'd love to be able to build some pews for the church, and then truthfully, if more comes in, we'll just send it down. Even building a bathroom out here, little things like that are a big deal for these communities. And so pray about it. A couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, we had a need in Haiti, a special need in Haiti that they needed $2,000 to pay for the rent for 5 years for the feeding center. And you all came through. One donor from Texas actually contacted us, sent that money in, and that was taken care of. And that's a huge blessing. And so, I had a few people reach out asking if that was taken care of, and it was taken care of. And so maybe somebody wanted to get involved there and wasn't able to, but now you're able to get involved here in Mexico. And so again, I don't do this a lot, a couple times a year, but I love if the Lord laid on your heart, we'd love to be able to send an extra offering down. And again, if anything more that comes in over 1,000 will just help with pews, bathroom, and ultimately we can lay the floor here. And so pray about that. But I just want to bring you a little bit of update, have Pastor Brian share his heart a little bit about Mexico. Pray for us tomorrow. We'll head out, preach tonight, head out tomorrow, back to Arizona. You go to California. I go to Georgia, and then I go to Honduras. And so maybe we'll see you down there. But appreciate you guys. Thanks for your prayers, and we'll be in touch.